Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Minako, and I'm here to talk to you today about the top 5 cancer-fighting foods. So, it is February, which is Cancer Prevention Month. So, in honor of that, we want to talk about what types of foods helps with cancer and a few of them that you may also want to avoid. So, here at the Tokyo Cancer Clinic, we take a whole person approach to treating cancer. We treat with not only immunotherapy, but we also support lifestyle. And that's what I do. I try and help people be empowered about their own care, to find out what types of foods are good to eat, how they should be, exercising or getting enough sleep or reducing stress. So, all of these things can help support your body as you go through a cancer diagnosis and just in general to stay healthy. So, but again, even though I am a doctor, I am not your doctor. So, this should not be taken as medical advice. And make sure that you check with your own healthcare providers when you're trying to follow a healthy lifestyle to support your illnesses. So, with that, with cancer, there are so many different foods that can help support your immune system and help keep your body healthy and in tip top shape in order to fight against cancer. So, these are my actual top 5 foods that I think are really important to incorporate into your diet. So, number 1 is cruciferous vegetables. So these are your cabbages, your broccoli, kale, spinach, cauliflower, and my favorite, Brussels sprouts. So these vegetables actually contain something called sulforaphanes in it. And this is a substance that has been shown to help fight against cancer, especially in lab studies. They've actually shown to diminish the growth of prostate cancer cells. And there's really good evidence that these vegetables are good for a lot of the oropharyngeal cancers. So, oropharynx, laryngeal cancers, stomach cancers, colorectal cancers, also lung cancers. And there's also good evidence that it helps with breast cancers. So, number 1, cruciferous vegetables, really important to include in your diet. Number 2, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? So apples, actually, they are really, really nutritious fruits and also all stone fruits. So that includes pears, plums, and the ones with the pits, right? Peaches and nectarines and cherries, things like that. These apples and stone fruits also help to inhibit cancer. And the way they do this is they inhibit a hormone called VEGF. VEGF stands for vascular endothelial growth factors. So this hormone actually keeps tumors from growing blood vessels in so that it feeds it. So when our cancer cells, when our normal cells mutate and turn into cancer cells, they start off as little bitty cells and they turn into cancer when they start growing out of control. Well, for a teeny tiny tumor to grow into big cancer that can cause problems in your bodies, it needs to grow blood vessels to feed it. So by eating a lot of these stone fruits and increasing some of the substances that are in these fruits, it would help to decrease something called VEGF. It decreases the hormones that create vessels in order to feed these tumors. So also very, very important when it comes to preventing cancer formation. So number 3, berries. Okay, these beautiful black and red colors, the strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries, they contain lots of substances called polyphenols. They also have lots of fiber in it. So both polyphenols and fiber work together to help your gut bacteria. Your gut microbiome is really, really important for your immune system. Also, polyphenols are great in terms of reducing cancer cell growth. They're antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, and the polyphenols themselves have actually shown that they can stop cell division. So when cancer cells grow out of control, it's because their cells keep dividing and dividing and the tumors get bigger. And there's some evidence that polyphenols will also help decrease the cell division. Again, these are not in place of medicines or anything, but anything to help support our bodies, nutritiously and deliciously, is a benefit for all of us. So these polyphenols, they also stop cell division, and they have been shown to be beneficial, particularly again in the oropharyngeal cancers, the lung cancers, colorectal cancers, and also breast cancers. So let's eat our berries. Number 4, the Allium family. So this is the family of vegetables such as garlics, onions, leeks, green onions, shallots, and these vegetables have a very strong sort of flavor. And they can be kind of pungent because they contain organosulfur compounds in it. And these organosulfur compounds are also very good in terms of preventing cancer. There have been a lot of epidemiologic studies showing that the more of these veggies that you eat, the incidence of cancer is much less. Again, this is not proof that it inhibits cancer, but they actually take these compounds, the organosulfur compounds from these vegetables, and they've done lab tests where they would drip it on certain cancer cells outside the body, and this is also shown to decrease the cancer growth, and it actually tends to kill cancer cells. So number 4 is the Allium family. And then number 5, finally, is turmeric. Turmeric is a spice. It's this yellow, bright yellow spice that you can see here. And we find it a lot in Indian food and in curries, right? And it's also popular nowadays to make sort of turmeric lattes or putting them in your smoothies because they're really, really good for your health. They are highly anti-inflammatory. So it keeps inflammation at bay so that your immune system can actually appropriately respond to threats such as infections and also cancer. So turmeric, in addition to being a powerful anti-inflammatory, it actually helps to modulate our immune system. So that means it helps to appropriately support and mobilize T cells, B cells, and natural killer cells. So all 3 of these cells are really, really important in not only protecting our bodies from cancers, but also they help protect our bodies and fight against bacteria and viruses. So super, super good for you. Okay, so those are our 5 foods that are good for you, right? We started with cruciferous veggies like broccoli, apples and stone fruits, berries, and the allium family, and then turmeric. So those are the 5 foods that are really great for you. What foods should we be limiting, right? Ultra processed foods. So these are the foods that come in packages that are in the center of the grocery store aisles, things that you have to open like this, right? These foods are ultra processed and packaged. So that means they take things like wheat or corn or other like soy, and those things, when they're in their whole food state, they're fine, they're good for you. But when you take them and you grind them up and you strip them out of all their nutrients and fiber and make them into powders, and then they reform and bake or fry these powders into other shapes, right, into things like cheese puffs or crackers or even different chips, this is considered ultra processed, and a lot of the nutrients that have been stripped out of it, the fiber that is so essential to our gut bacteria and our general health, has been stripped out of it. A lot of chemicals and food additives have been added to it. So these are foods that they have found that the more of these you eat, the more you have a risk of cancer. So you want to limit those ultra processed foods. The second type of category of food to limit is processed meat and red meat. Okay, processed meat are things like sausages and pepperonis and hams, and those have been directly shown to be carcinogenic. So you want to really rarely eat those processed meats. And then red meat. Okay, red meat also in large quantities can definitely be detrimental towards your health. And there are links to particularly colon cancer for both of these types of foods. So, it doesn't mean that you have to completely cut them out of your diet. You can still enjoy them every so often. But with red meat, they say the recommendation is to have 500 grams a week. So that's actually quite a bit of red meat still. So it's not like you're going to be totally deprived by cutting these foods out of your diet. The other things to decrease and limit in your diet are sugar sweetened beverages. So when you eat sugar in its whole and natural forms, like in fruit, right, it comes in the whole package with the fiber and the nutrients, and as a whole package, foods are really good for you, even if they have some sugar in it. But when you strip out the sugar and you process sugar and then you add them into drinks, such as in sodas and a lot of fruit juices that have added sugars, and even sports drinks are, they build them as healthy drinks, but they're really not. And drinking your sugars is a lot worse for your bodies than taking them in their whole forms. So you want to limit how much of the sugar sweetened beverages that you take in, and also alcohol. So people say, well, isn't alcohol kind of good for you? Wine's supposed to be good for you. And taken in moderation, red wine can be good for you because of all the polyphenols in it, right? That's that deep, dark colors that the berries have. But they found that overall alcohol has not been shown to be beneficial for your health. So they say that if you're not a drinker, then just you don't have to, add wine into your diet to be healthier. You can get the same benefits by eating lots of berries and grapes. And they say that alcohol, well, it is intrinsically linked to certain cancers, especially oropharyngeal cancers, stomach cancers, pancreatic cancers, and liver cancers, and colorectal cancers. So you want to limit your alcohol. So for men, the recommendation is to drink 2 drinks a day or less. And for women, it's 1 drink a day or less. But if you really want to, be mindful of your alcohol intake, 5 drinks or less a week, I think is a reasonable amount to restrict yourself to. So I hope that was helpful. And I hope that all of you guys increase the healthier foods into your diet and decrease some of these unhealthier foods within your diet. And you can find me. I'm going to try and continue doing these little Facebook Lives to provide you guys with lots and lots of great evidence-based dietary and lifestyle tips that you could incorporate into your daily life. So thank you so much for your attention. I do provide a lot of free health advice on my website. If you want to check it out, it's drminako.com. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn as Dr. Minako or Minako Abe. And if you're interested in cancer and immunotherapy, come and visit us at the Tokyo Cancer Clinic. So until next time, everyone stay well and stay healthy. Okay, take care.